EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
13. No. You. Check.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Next one. Get him. Check three. Hey, Ozzy. Chill out. 10. You at X. Quick. Check out, bro. Hot. Rush in.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Certainly not the start they were looking for offensively, coming off that loss last week on the road.
And they didn't do their job. They're going to feel poorly about that. But what they're going to do is look at the defense and say, can you pick us up here? And let's face it, defenses can score. We've seen it, right? They can take the ball away, create a big-time opportunity. Let's see if they can get that done.
Yeah, just something to jumpstart this home crowd. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Right back to him on 1st down. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Prescott from the gun. Buying time, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. David Ojabo running in to take him down.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throwing, Prescott. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Now a handoff running through the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Here's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Brandon Cooks, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Cowboys are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore.
An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Here we go, G. Get up. Ozzy. Sit up. Back. Yeah.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line. The Ravens are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson now. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Room here to run. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from evening this one up. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. These two teams all tied after one. Off the play fake, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get it inside the 35.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 24-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. first down. They'll go to the ground attack. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Prescott. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
There they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. In motion left goes Cooks. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. A carry here for the big tight end. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys have moved out in front. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there? The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They go play action now. Jackson. They'll roll him out right. They find some open field here. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. I don't think that run was anything that was designed, but when his reads were blanketed as he went through his progressions, all that was left was for him to run and try and pick it up himself.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Second and 9. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Hey, Mike 20, Mike,
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw is Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Play action now, Prescott. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Prescott. That is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The kick by Lutz is good. And they will move up by 10 now. 17-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Prescott. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it and helped pop that ball free.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And some room to work. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ronald Jones, 47 yards, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Lutz with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And here comes a return from a few steps in. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So they don't even need to run a second down play. Give them the first.
And typically when we see this jumping, isn't it usually third down, fourth down? They got him on second down. I think that's a lack of discipline.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
On third down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second-half blowout material. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that's complete to Cooks. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Prescott now. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another fourth down. They declined it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not. Did not get back there. It's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have picked up right where they left off in half number one, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Prescott to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Oh, he shifts past him. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
From the 41, Jackson. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Ravens on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Now Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 33 yards.
And the Ravens get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down now to 22. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Right there, 54, right there, 52.
On play action, Prescott. He'll buy some time right. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cowboys. Brandon Cooks with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Cowboys look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here.
And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Mike check 33. 33. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Jackson from the shotgun. Being chased out left. Ball had his hands on it. Couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
That's hot. Everybody, Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 13.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Jackson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. 4th down. Here's Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Ravens 28.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line.
84 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
After the penalty, it's Jones. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And they will take a knee here.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends.